Good morning. Here it is at 1 o'clock. I woke up around about like 11. No, it was 8 o'clock, and I haven't went back to sleep. I ended up taking a nap. I guess I was tired. I had been up last night about 2, so I ended up. I think I fell asleep somewhere around 3, and woke up at 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 hours. And I never could get a hold of anybody yesterday, not even my sister. I used to get a hold of her weekend. Maybe she's here. I don't know. Mom is supposed to handle that rental, but really, I don't think she'd give a fuck, you know. But now that they haven't, I don't know. She don't care. But she in New York, Midtown Manhattan, you know, fast city. It's funny because it's such a different. It's so different here, and everybody that like all her brothers and sisters that had left here, they don't come back. I know why. I know why, especially a woman. I mean, like you get like women get like we get used as sex objectified, whatever, used as sex symbols all the time anywhere. But here it's really bad because it just is, you know. that's that's one thing about the South. I mean, like, can you imagine? They go to they go to church on Sunday, and the little girls is working in the I don't know, they with the tweet and all, and the way they dress and everything. Like I was laughing when like I was saw like what was it, Wendy Wilson going on about stilettos, and she could hardly walk in them, right? And like at all. And like around here, like you see the women there, like like you're just running from the car, whatever. But I'm seeing them in the stilettos, and I'm like, really? Like I could see if you were gonna just be wearing it someplace where you'd be sitting, like eating, and but not, But anyway, so they bought into all that stilettos. They all wear this those see-through pants. They're not even yoga pants. I don't even know what they are. But anyway, I gotta go. I'll take the bus tomorrow. So to get there at 10:30, I probably have to leave around 6:30. So I have to catch the first bus between 6:30 and 7. Cause I have to transfer like from one bus over here, and the way they have it scheduled, it's like a 20-minute wait there, and then I'll have to I don't know what bus I'll take from there, but I got the address written down. Like my phone book here, I both my phone books like when I had called like an ambulance before when I had that so like a sunstroke, which they thought there was nothing wrong with me because I could walk. I'm like, if I had been like that Rick Ross, or like if Rick Ross had been in Memphis and they called the paramedics and he walked out, it wouldn't matter. He got shot 6 times. They'd be like, oh, he ain't hurt. He's walking. You know what I'm saying? Their mind would like, if you shot, you lay down, or some shit. But he's not. But he's not the first person I've seen. Or I never seen him shot. But he's not the first person I've heard of that. Um, you know, didn't fall down. Anyway, they ripped this. They ripped this one off. They just took it off. Because I had in here my high blood pressure pills, and I wrote it down for my convenience. I had read somewhere where it would be like a nice courtesy to do for the ambulance people, but you can't anything that you do that is nice or they proceed as a way to like they could ease in there to bully you. Because I remember looking at because he like the other one I have, he ripped off the first year I went to the ambulance and I had it in here. It was brand new. He ripped all the tags off the back. The black guy. I mean they do really weird, hateful stuff. So now I know why let's see Helen, Ruth, Willie, Nathaniel, all of them didn't come back. Ruth, Annie Ruth, she went to St. Louis, married James Walker, and had 2 kids. And her and her husband died just before Anne Lurleen did, so that was 2008. Anyway, and Helen died 2009. Jean. Anyway, so but she would never come back here. Um, Helen never came back here. My mom ain't ever gonna come back here. She don't even like to come back here to visit. Um, Willie, he didn't come back until he had been in the Navy. He left at 17 and went into the Navy. Matter of fact, all my mom's brothers that went into the service, they all came home, all six of them. Um, and but he had went in the Navy. He was on a nuclear submarine, and he ended up um, dying of brain cancer. But nobody had seen him. He married some Jehovah Witness woman, and I don't know. That whole part of the family is strange. It's funny how like the ones that are real religious are the ones that have the most incest or something. You know, I don't, I don't even know. The one brother that's over here in New Orleans. You know, he just a homemonger. The other one I met that's married, that I met up in New York, he was very nice. I guess he had wanted to have some type of talk with me, but one thing also about religious people, if you like I didn't go to church growing up, you know. My mom just she never stepped foot in the church. Um, unless she does volunteer work for making quilts for AIDS people in Harlem, like the children. They do some make quilts, and they do another quilt. Anyway, but it's in the Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church, but she won't go there on Sunday. One thing is because it's all white, so she's not going to go in there. They're the only black. And second of all, is that actually none of our family, except for Ruth, none of them are really was religious. Now Irma Jean, that was like Aunt Lurleen only had Irma Jean, right? And it was Eugene. Aunt Lurleen married Eugene Thomas, Timmy Thomas, and they had and anyway, so Irma Jean, she decided that I think they were going to the one church that's up on Third and Mitchell White Chapel, but they stopped going in there and went to this Catholic one um, up on Neely Road. I forget the name of it, but anyway, I remember Sister there because Irma Jean was supposed to volunteer to cook. Well, anyway, I went in there and I noticed Irma Jean just stands around. She doesn't really like to do any. She didn't really like to do any work, um, anything, you know. But anyway, so I was helping Sister chop up. But anyway, Sister had got sick first, right? How's that happen? And then our Jean got it, and then the father, whatever his name is, he got it. All three of them is gone. And like, and then they had their sister Catholic church or someplace in Africa. So, but they brought in a few Africans. One of the African people they sell stuff over here like in the flea market, and Brock Brock the one anyway. He was the renter. He brought me over there one day. She was like a strange African lesbian lady, like you know. Anyway, so I bought some water and some cookies from her. Just he was getting some cookies and I had to tell him I had to inform him. I'm like, don't you ever bring me around, introduce me to nobody. I don't want to meet no new people. You know, I particularly don't like none of his friends. But anyway, um, I like making my own friends anyway. But it's so I have to be out. I'm gonna get some like some Ridol or something for my hair because I always get like there's always fleas when I get around when I can take the bus and everything. Because mostly the bus now is just to transport people. Just go, you know, like everybody has a car. Like my car started messing up in Kansas, and I should have realized because Connie, my aunt Connie in Kansas, she, you know, she just her thing is she like well anyway she told me she was just I need your mom and them because I don't have anybody now, right? But So she hurried up and got help from my mom to get a car. So my mom's not. In fact, my mom's not gonna help me unless somebody like tells her, hey, you need to do something for your daughter. But she's not gonna do anything. I mean, she ain't gonna come down here without trying to get without a car or whatever. So, um, but and we don't. I don't know. Uh, my mom never did. She always used to say she didn't like me. So she just said that like the only thing's gonna happen with women, is that men just lust after you. So and ain't nobody's ever gonna love you. Uh, she got it wrong. They do lust after everybody, but it ain't just me. To me, we have a sick society. Because there was a lot of women back then. They would like cry, like in the '60s, and you know, like in the early '60s, like when I was young. If they knew if they were gonna have a daughter or something, they would cry or something. It's just like in China where they opt to get rid of their daughter. Well, I guess now they want to have more than one, because they ended up having a bunch of guys, gay. I mean, who else did you feel, because they got rid of all the girls. So they didn't really want that. I mean, it's sort of crazy that women are so devalued. You know what I'm saying? Because of the sex industry, our worth is, as women is in society is always, being brought down lower and lower and lower and lower. You know, to where basically I guess if once they if they could clone real good, or like we'll just have men. Can you imagine that? Just a bunch of men and a women, bunch of men, and how long I was thinking, how long the planet would last, because the way it is now, like with the racist people around here, they think they're gonna have like an all white world. You know, there's probably plenty of places like some of these racist people could go where they wouldn't have to be around black people ever. And I don't know why they don't go there. But it's not going to happen because of the sun. The sun, turns the skin brown, and so you would basically just have to destroy the world. There was this one blonde girl with blue eyes, and she was actually from Africa. It's like she was at like because she was laughing because like it sounds like we're very like to Europeans for blacks. I don't call myself African American. I just say I'm a Negro. I know that the word Negro is now supposed to be a bad word, but when I was young, when I was little, Negro came from the word Nigeria, the country, and supposedly that's how it progressed, you know, to where like the Spaniards just called dark people Negro and Negro or Negra, whatever, just male, female things, and so to me it just meant a dark skin, and they used to say what they say about niggers about white trash. You know what I'm saying? In Hell's Kitchen it had signs saying no Irish. So like if you had a choice between being like cause like I hear them like saying, oh, you think you're white, like I'm like I would like growing up like that would be like ew, like no. And it's just like when the Russians, like, cause like I remember when Ornella Barrack and Hela Castilla and these other Russians, they showed up. They showed up. Their families was in debt with China, or getting a loan to come over here, like $50,000 almost per person, whatever it was. Because I remember Ornella's father got pushed on the train track because he couldn't pay, and that way her sister ended up marrying this guy to help him get a citizenship. That after they killed him, that really convinced her to go ahead and marry this dude. Secondhand story, supposedly, okay? But I know her father really died, so and her sister really got married, so. Anyway, but like basically that's when like everybody was big into like the Russians wanting to become citizens, and anyway, so they had got the propaganda. It was all like, yay, we welcome the Russians I don't know what you call it when you just denounce your citizenship and you know try to get citizenship here, asylum or whatever. But anyway, so at that time, a bunch of I guess the number one industry that they were the Russians and Chinese was doing is in the sex industry, along with the church, with somehow got in the backing of it. I guess the Italians, maybe it's the Italian mafia and the Chinese help, and they tested the waters like with the Russian brides and you know like and they had a big auction, like how do you say where the kids without their parents they live, a big group auctioning, can't say it, but and in these big groups they anyway. So that was so like you really saw a big flood um in, in the sex industry and uh, uh geared towards, but and that's the way I see it now is that the youth right now is real influence and sex, it's all, you know what I mean, you know I mean, I just can't imagine. Oh, like this one guy over here, right? Um, he he is raising his kids himself, right? Because like these pimps, they're women, and there was a big bunch of them all in the '90s, just dropped dead from the AIDS, you know. Um, um, but anyway, his son like and daughter like he's gonna raise them to be a gangster or whatever. And I remember one day he's like he couldn't figure out. He's like, I don't understand what's wrong with my daughter. She ain't acting crazy. But I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, the worst thing in the world, the being a female, is to have to work in as a dancer or a titty shaker or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, what I'm saying, that's what the number one reason why they also are trafficking drugs like that too. You know what I'm saying? But it's such a $1 million business because like once like say once you get like rich or something like a basketball player or something, your promoter, your manager, they're gonna have women that I'm saying that they're gonna bring to you. You know what I'm saying? And then like if you like a person that wants to be sneaky and just one prostitute, then since you have money, then comes because if you've been sneaky and you're ashamed that or whatever, or you just too stupid to know that you could probably have 4 or 5 women around you that are good friends of yours already that you probably would have been a lot easier, and you could have regular sex. But anyway, but because once they get you to deal with those prostitutes, what I'm saying, that's where embezzlement, a blackmail comes in. You know what I'm saying, especially if you're married and you don't want anybody like the Tiger Woods. You know what I'm saying. I'm sure they were trying to blackmail him. He finally said, I don't, you know what I'm saying? They were probably, so a lot of women, and plus, like, and also they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. It's not like the woman gets paid. You can see a lot of places. Um, they used to say when I was a little girl, where the missionaries come in, you know what I'm saying? Rape them under 6, then and then they have the girl in the bar in the club next to the church. You know what I'm saying? So, because like a lot of those places they go into, what I'm saying? They're trying to teach them capitalists, but they're not giving them any industry or business. So, what do you have? You know what I'm saying? And if the first thing they do is kill your livestock, in the war, they come in there and blowing up stuff. So first thing they do is like they got to fill up the zoo, so they take all the animals out of there and kill them. The great white hunters. So Africa basically, well, I'm gonna put it like this: capitalist is slavery. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really say that, except for I've had worked and I've been here long enough. It is slavery. That's the only reason why I can't even afford to go back to work right now, because I'll have to pay out so much more than what I can bring in at this time. Because once you get in that hole where um, financially strapped, and then you still have the everyday living. So it's forget about it. Uh, I just, I don't know. I'm up. Let's see, but playing with my hair. I have to take it out anyway, and tomorrow, because I never wear it out like all twisted it like this anyway. I just wear it. Yeah, I try not to be attractive, and it seems like that, that's why, like, uh, but they don't. It's not really about what you look like, and usually I could just courage, around here, just like, oh, I'm real poor, so you know, because um, you know, this black community is so fractured. They're absolutely really the like over here, like where the people across the street with their own house. Okay, like her daughter has my age. She done got had sex with her husband, the crackhead that's having sex with almost all the other guys, right? He used to be all right for doing yard work, but they really ruined him at this last time he went out of jail. He just useless, can't do shit. But anyway, she was a crackhead. Well, anyway, I think like one of her kids is a policeman. Either, and then the other one, the daughter's a dancer, and then the other one, is a nurse's aide. So like, I'm thinking, like, and then they got another one. I think he thinks he's a preacher. You know, he comes driving by with his music. I'm thinking it doesn't matter, because the way they think and the way they behave was well established, and that it doesn't matter what job they go into, they're going to bring in this stink crazy. I mean, the whole house. But anyway, I have to give it to them. They sort of try to stay together, but mostly around here, family is all separated. So, but you know, you know, yeah, there's no family unit at all. Anymore. Um, you have a bunch of men running around, what they call with their main chick, I guess, at the bottom bitch, and then they got the side chick, and then they got to hang out with their boys, and you know, some of these guys that are, all about, it's boys, men before hoes. They just some guys that are down low or on the down low and are down low and will take advantage of another guy or younger guys. You know what I'm saying? There's a few guys around. There's this one guy, Vern, that's around over here on the corner. His old lady just died of AIDS, right? But she had been living there. She had been sick for a long time, and his baby mama was in prison. He had the baby, and his girlfriend was living with him. Well, anyway, um, and his old lady that had died of cancer, heart cancer. Her daughter was there. Well, after she died, he kicked her daughter out because she was supposed to be high on crack. But basically, he just was going to kick her out anyway. So he kicked her out. So he just has his girlfriend left there and the baby mama. And that house is little. It's real little. I went in there because not that I'm one that starts rumors or anything, but I haven't really been hanging out under the trees and talking much. But I hadn't seen him about 4 or 5 months. So we were sitting underneath the tree, and um, I was like, well, ain't anybody seen him, and nobody's seen him, right? So I was like, because like we were watching something about, the guys were watching something about vampires, whatever. So I was like, maybe I don't remember. I said something about, maybe he's just coming out at night. Maybe he's a vampire. So next thing I go past his house and he hollers at me to come up there. Well, he had tried to hop this fence, like you know, right across the road from this empty field, and there's a house right behind there where he always goes over. Well, anyway, instead of getting in his car and driving around like he always does, uh, he decides to walk cross hop the fence. Well, anyway, somehow he hopped the fence and he fell on the other side, and he broke his back. And lucky he had his phone, he was able to call. And he said it took his old lady a while to find him. But anyway, so he called me up in the house, right? And he's walking. So he had been 4 or 5 months. He had been in the hospital. So I guess I got out that I was saying that he was a Dracula. I can't exactly remember what I said, but you know, everybody, we were drinking, but it got a little juicy. Everybody was putting something there. Before you know, we had a hell of a story. But anyway, um, so I guess anyway, he was telling me something, and he was telling me that he was recovering. He turned around, right, and all up and down the back of his thing, his shit stain. And so I looked at his old lady. She looked at me. But he can't bend over. He turned around real stiff. But he's walking and driving his car, and they did a good job with him. You know. Now I know what's on the other side of the fence. He's hopping over the fence to buy some marijuana from this one people. I don't know why he just didn't call him to bring it. But anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna do something. I'm hungry now. We need to eat something. Alright. I have some green apples forgot about. I'm gonna make me a little snack or something. I'm hungry. I'm not going to sleep. My whole schedule is up. This is why I fall asleep in the afternoon, and like, and I don't get any. I don't get. I have to get my one nighttime high blood pressure pills changed because it has like something like a Quaalude in it or something that try to relax with some like a tranquilizer or whatever. But what happens is if and I'm out of that one, but I'll get some tomorrow. But if I take that, it wears off like in 4 hours. I wake up, and plus like if anybody calls or knocks while I'm on it, I don't hear shit. I don't hear shit. You know. But just like when that guy called the cops on me, I told my mom I can't go around the corner because you have to babysit here the people. Because if you don't watch them, you know, they do a fucking bad job. I don't really like growing up in New York. I really don't know about grass. My grass only gets about 4 to 5 inches high at sea, and you know what I'm saying. So it's one of these people calling. You know what I mean? Legally, they shouldn't even have to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 places over here where the grass is 7 feet tall. They haven't touched that shit at all. I ain't gonna do shit about it. The city owns it. The other one I ain't gonna say is because I'm paying on that's one of our lots, but as long as they don't, nobody knows. There ain't nobody gonna call. They're just so fucking trifling and roguish. These black people around here, they've been. I attribute it to them getting spanked, but you know. Anyway, I dread going around it because the bus driver is just fucking real rude, real fucking rude, real shitty. I guess in the 90s or 80s and 90s when they had the crack, thing, uh, um, they were able to like pretty much decide that they don't have to have any respect no more for anybody. But it's shit. I I, I don't know. I don't and I could tell a motherfucker that's on crack about 1.5 seconds. So racist and ignorance it leads you from to not even having a fucking common sense. But because there's enough motherfuckers. I've been through the '80s. There's enough motherfuckers. I've seen people on coke. I know the difference between someone that's a little manic and a coke fiend. And one of the things is you can look at is the dilation of their eyes. Cause but like they just like I don't know, they're just so disgusting here. I fucking dread have to be around some of these people. I really do. Oh well, let me get up. Let me get something in my stomach. Maybe I'll take a nap. But oh well, I gotta go out there in that mean, mean cold. Well, hot, hot world. It's hot. It's